Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chats with the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. My name is Candace English, and I am the Farmer's Daughter. So excited to be back after a long hiatus. If you're new to our vlog, podcast, whatever you want to call it, I just chit chat a little bit about my life, what I'm doing, and what's happening in Montana, and what's going on at Farmer's Daughter. So it's a lot like I like being in the shop. If you're going to be in the shop, I'm going to talk about the things. If you're going to all the new things, just kind of explaining it. So it's a nice way to see things like in person and to hear all of the details about them. It's very laissez-faire. I have ADD, and so I do tend to trail off. I try to reel it back in, but the people have accepted it. So if it's not your thing, that's okay. Just pause, bounce, whatever it is. If you love it, you can like and subscribe. And we always do giveaways at the end too. And so if you stick around, I'll tell you what the giveaway is and how to win it. Okay, I'm excited to be back. It's been, I think, gosh, this fall was my last episode. I took a bit of a hiatus. One of the things I've talked about a lot this fall was that my son is a senior, and so I have been putting a pause on a lot of things. We haven't been doing as many like shop events or having a lot of guests come into the shop this year. The podcast slowed down. There's just kind of things that I just put on the back burner that ready to go. He graduates in like 3 weeks, and we are feeling a little bit of freedom. I'm feeling like a little bit of freedom. I feel like this is more exciting than when I graduated. I also like got kicked out of my house a month before I graduated and was living with Xander. Can you believe it? Okay, I am gonna be messing with my hair because it's annoying me so badly. I got this new freaking stupid bougie cruelty free like no chemicals whatever shampoo, but it is a buildup, and then this piece right here keeps on disconnecting. A hair clip or something like that, or I guess I could wait, hold on here guys, I think I could do that. Oh, that ruins the whole style. Okay, that's fine, but there's a it's like, and I can see the shadow. Rat bastard. Maybe just okay, it's gonna have to go back. All right, runs the whole style. There we go, much better. I try to move around a little bit for the lighting. I'm in my office right now, and I have a big light over, or window, not light. I have a big window over here, and then I have a window over here. So sometimes when I'm doing podcasts, it can get washed out. So then I just switch things around a little bit. So I'm sitting lower than I usually do, and I feel a little weird. But you know, um, and I got this new baby ASMR mic, and hopefully I tested it out, and hopefully it's okay. I'm gonna be really sad if it's not. I think I'm gonna get one of those just like podcasting mics, so then that way it just sits right there. I can be a little bit closer to it, just to improve the sound. New and improved FDF podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I made all kinds of notes so I could stay on track. I have just been living my life with two teenagers. There has been, since the beginning of the year, I have not had a week where something hasn't come up. Little, big, minor, major, and I'm just not that I'm not catching a break. I'm just like handling it. I'm just like catching balls, okay. And it's been good. I feel like I'm in a stage in my life, and maybe this is just like conducive to being um in your late 30s, early 40s. I feel like I'm in this stage where I'm like moving into the next stage of my life, and it's one of those things that I feel like you just don't really, and this is any time you're going through like a growing season, it's like you don't know quite what's happening until it's over, or until you kind of get to that next stage. Like it's hard to reflect on things when you're like in the middle of it. So I'm just taking things with grace and trying to be really calm and very happy. And, um, just I'm somebody who needs all of the information to process, like even creatively or business wise or anything. Like, I feel like I procrastinate to the last minute because I like to have as much information as possible. And so, just this stage of my life, it's like I don't have all the knowledge and all the information yet. I'm just figuring it out. So, it's been good. It's been busy, and yeah, just LIVIN, baby. Um, Regardless, I'm very happy and I feel very at peace with my life. And I am excited for kind of these next stages of my life and a farmer's daughter and what we're going to do. And it's really exciting. So, we have had some new staff come on at FDF. We have some new people over in the dye studio, and they're all set up over there and they're doing really well. And that's all going really great. Um, Sorry, the sinus pressure. Um, and then at the shop, um, I finally hired a creative assistant to be my partner and my number one. And Alec came on in, gosh, I think it was March, and that's been amazing. You guys will be seeing him on the social media, at shows, at the shop, all of those things. He is really great, and I just am not quite sure how I was doing everything without somebody else. He's very creative, and yeah, it's just been really great. And then Sarah, who's our shop manager, she is going to be, her husband's in the military, so they're going to be PCSing soon. And so we did hire someone. I'll introduce her when she starts in June. But I'm really excited to have her come in, and sad to see Sarah go. She has been so instrumental in the growth of FDF the last few years and getting us really organized and being an amazing customer service person. So, if you virtual shopped with her, if you've been in the shop, if you've taken a class with Sarah, you know how great she is. So, that's just kind of what's been happening in my life. A lot happening this summer. Xander has a, this is like side note, Xander has a torn labrum, and so he needs to have surgery, and we've been like waiting to see when he can do it. And we've been trying to hold off until like January just because there's not much going on. And summers in Montana, like they're just so short, and we're just like, I mean, that's like our life is summers in Montana. It's why we live here the other 9 months of the year. So, but we were kind of looking to see, like, you know, can he maybe get it this summer? And just looking at like every single week, it's like, maybe not. I mean, if he really has to, definitely he will. But trying to hold off through the summer and through hunting season for him, through festival season for us. So I went to Portugal in April. Is it April? Yeah, April. I went to Portugal. I went by myself. I wanted to see what it would be like to travel by myself. And it was amazing. And Portugal is a beautiful, beautiful country. So I had so much fun there. And I'm hoping to bring a group of people back for a little fiber retreat in 2025. Also in 2020, we have a lot. We are actually traveling. We're starting to pick up our travel schedule again. Um, we're doing Flock Fiber Festival in August in Seattle. It's at the new convention center in Seattle. It's going to be really amazing. Just sounds like an epic show. It's going to be great. A lot of people there. And then we are doing our retreat in September. We have a retreat in June, retreat in September. And then in October for New York Sheep and Wool, I tried to apply to actually vend at New York Sheep and Wool. Very interesting process. You know, I think that they try to keep it small and they try to keep it like really local, a farm yarn. So my case that I was pleading was that, I would only bring local non-superwash yarns, all of those things, and that there's a big lack of like indigenous and black and any diversity at that show. There is none. Like, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say there isn't any because I know that there is, but there is very little of it. And I wanted to do a thing with Sisters United and some organizations in New York. Um, and they just don't get back to you apparently. Yeah, it's like their application process is kind of non-existent, and I don't have any qualms about saying this publicly because I'm sure they know how I feel, but they just, yeah. So, if for some grace of God that it works out and I do get to vend there, awesome. Otherwise, I'll be vending with Catherine from Brooklyn General. She's going to do this really small festival. When she did Woolen Folk the first 2 years, she wasn't a part of it last year. When she did the first 2 years, it's going to be like that, but like a micro um, Woolen Folk, I think. And it's not called Woolen Folk, it's called something else. So I'll be venting in some capacity at the weekend of New York Sheep and Wool. So that will be really exciting. We have some really fun collaborations with Spin Cycle coming up that I can't wait to share with you guys. And then 2025 is going to be a busy year. We're going to, and Sacred Sheep. Sorry, I can't forget Sacred Sheep. That's in November. They're making it longer this year, and we're doing some really fun stuff with Sisters United. It's going to be awesome. I love that show so much. It is one of my favorite shows, partly because one of my best friends is putting it on, and whatever she does is amazing, and I love it, and so cool and so thoughtful. And her whole crew, the whole Ritual Dies crew, is just like so cool and relaxed, and I will say a million good things about them leading up to the show because I just love them so much. So 2025, so Ritual dies, then I'm gonna sleep for a while, do a little hibernation. That's what I kind of feel like right now. Like I just came out of hibernation after the winter time, after not doing this podcast for so long. So 2025, we're going to do several retreats. I'm going to do a retreat out of Darby, Montana. I'm going in June to check it out to make sure everything is good and get all the things signed and set up. It is at a place called Triple Creek Ranch. And like I said, it's in Darby, Montana. It is a 5-star resort. So the price point, and I'm just going to say this right now, price point of our retreats are high. And the reason is because I will only partner with other I will only partner with venues that have their shit so completely down and are going to be the best accommodating space for us and for you guys. Um, while I would love to like go to like, I don't want to say shitty cabins, but to go to like some rundown cabins up in the mountains and do a whole like, I'm fine with those type of things. People's level of what that looks like and how they feel about it, I'm too much of an empath to be able to take that on. I can't help it, and I know that about myself. So I will only partner with people that are like, we're going top tier, baby. We're all getting taken care of. There's no question that anybody is leaving that place like being like, oh my God, there was a mouse that ran across my face, or, the food sucked, or I'm gluten free and or I'm vegetarian. All I ate was salad all weekend. Like there will be no questions on how amazing that you feel when you leave. So the price point at this place is a little bit higher, but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, pretty average too, for retreats, like a little above average, I would say. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be awesome. We're calling it Knit Ski. I had a knitting retreat planned in Jackson Hole in 2020 called Knit Ski, and that never happened. And so here we are, 4 years, 5 years, it will be 5 years later, finally getting back to Knit Ski. It will be a little bit of a bigger retreat. We'll have 60 people. I already have I have 2 teachers coming, already confirmed. You guys are going to be so excited. And so at this place, it's all inclusive. So there's a ton of different events. You'll have 1 class a day, and then otherwise you can do whatever you want, and everything is included, including ski passes for a downhill, the downhill ski resort, includes transportation to the ski resort, all of those things, and then cross country skiing, snowshoeing, fire building, axe throwing, those cowboy hats that you can burn and make. You can go make a cowboy. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. You can pay extra and go dog sledding. I will be doing that. Yeah, so I think it's going to be super fun. I'm really excited. And yeah, that will be in February. I think that I will put that on, I'm going to get that, trying to get that going as soon as possible. It was kind of a little bit of a last minute. I mean, if you want to count for like 9 months being last minute, but I feel like in my world, 9 months is more last minute. So that is going to go out hopefully in July. I think right after the 4th of July, I'll put that out. And then, just in case you're wondering too, Celestial Countdown this year is going to be amazing. We're going to do the super sweet boxes that we did last time. And the theme this year is so good. So, very excited about that. And then Rachel and I from Ritual Dyes are going to do Tulum again next year in April. So April 2025, we'll be doing Tulum. And then hopefully Portugal in September of 2025. And then I'm going to be doing some more local weekend retreats here in Great Falls. So just in case you're thinking about things, in case you need to start planning, just wanted to give you all of that information. I need to. Okay, good. Okay, hold on, you guys. That worked. Okay. I needed to put it on Do Not Disturb. Don't mess with me. I'm gonna take this off. Okay. The sugar didn't quite melt. You guys still hear me? Am I muffled? I hope that's working. It's not annoying. Okay. What should we talk about? What I'm wearing? This is the Islet Raglan. It is by Layla Raven. And I knit this in a week and a half. You guys, I haven't finished a sweater in years. I'm not even exaggerating. And now I realize that I love doing short sleeves and I love doing things on bigger needles. And so this is Foxy Lady. Sorry, I have to bend down here because all of my stuff is in here. Okay, so this is Foxy Lady. And in the colorway, let me find this. Oh, I guess we didn't grab one of those. In the colorway, it's green, bitch. I don't remember why we were naming colors, and I'm not really sure why we were thinking about Britney Spears, but we were. It's just a tad bit washed out when it's close like that. My influencer hands aren't working. Stop. I can't remember why we brought Britney up, and then Alec was like, "It's green, bitch," and that's what it came out. So this is Foxy Lady in It's Green, Bitch, and then you can kind of see just this line right here is Oh Dang, and I was thinking last night we have Odane mini skein sets. They are like 5 or 6 little mini skein sets. Wouldn't it be cool to do all of the Odane minis in this? Like you could do a whole gradient, kind of like you could do contrast, but you could also do like a gradient muted situation too with those. I think would be really cool. It is long sleeve in the pattern. I just made mine short sleeve, and it is. I finished the repeat, and then I did a repeat and a half, and then I just did some ribbing. So super easy. The pattern is really simple. It's a raglan right off the bat. I mean, you really like you start it and you're divided for the sleeves, which is really, really great. And this is Odane DK, not this is regular Odane in here, but this is Odane DK. So this is its green bitch, and also I'll just show you the other colors. So anything on Foxy Lady is going to be just a little bit more, I don't want to say washed out. It has the silk in it, so it's not going to be as saturated, I guess I should say. Um, on Odang DK, it's really nice and saturated, and Hishkin, gorgeous. Um, let me grab the rest of these. There's another Foxy. Just want to show you the ones that like might be on Reminisce. It's so good. It's like a true Kelly green. It's beautiful. Not quite as saturated too on Juicy DK. And on this is what it looks like on Bear Paw Sock and Bear Paw DK, which these are dyed on a gray base. So you can see they're just like it's a shade darker, closer to Forest than Kelly. Yeah, I am a 39-inch bust, and this is the third size, which is, I think, like a 41.75. So just a little bit of ease. Wears really well, nice and loose, perfect summer tee. I love Foxy Lady for any tank tee, anything like that. The silk and the drape, I think, is perfect, and it is really cooling. We have Confluence Cotton now, which is a cotton merino. And while it does have the cotton in there, so it isn't going to be quite as warm, it still has wool in it. And so I just feel like between Foxy and Confluence Cotton, you're going to kind of get the same effect as far as like warming goes, or how warm it is, or how cool it is. Um, Even if it's like straight stockinette sweater, I'm just thinking like a straight raglan stockinette sweater, you're going to get the same thing. Confluence Cotton does not have a lot of drape though. Foxy Lady does. So it kind of depends what you want. This is I think I'm done talking about this. Oh, this is by Layla Raven. Did they say that? I hope so. I think that's it. Beautiful. I love it. It's so easy. And gosh, there's so many different things that you could do. Hers, she had Odang, like in a contrasting color. I just wanted the Kelly green. One thing I will say, and I can say this too when I'm doing my when I'm talking about my whip, but I recently cleaned out my closet. I feel like I was just like kind of in between sizes. There were things that were working, things that were outdated. And I have a really large closet. I feel very fortunate about that. And so I have some ability to separate things a little bit more. But I cleaned out my closet. I think I got 3 trash bags out of there. I am not I'm not one of those girlies who like has like 5 things that they can rotate out. I like options, especially where I live and traveling. Like my lifestyles change a lot. I could be out branding, I could also be in the streets of New York. Like I need some options here. A capsule wardrobe girly. That's just not me. But I will say that by cleaning out my closet, by getting rid of anything that didn't fit me, that was in between sizes, and the things that I was like, I know I'm going to be able to fit back into this, or like, I'm not ready to give this up yet, I put in a separate pile than the things I actually wanted to go, which felt really great. And, if I can get back into it, amazing. If I can't, no big deal. I have what I need in my closet. But by doing that, by color sorting, by really keeping that a very tailored, sacred space, it has really transformed in my knitting and in my shopping, but in my knitting of being like, what colors do I not need any more of? What styles do I want more of? How would this go with this? I mean, I can just see things so much better, which I love. So yeah, that's just kind of like my spiel. If you feel like you've been thinking about cleaning out your closet, here is an affirmation that you should definitely do that. Okay. Anyways, Confluence Cotton is not as drapey, like I said, and it is really, really lovely. Um, I'll be honest, I'm not big on cotton yarn. Linen, I can get with. Cotton, I hate the cornstarchy feel to it. It just I don't like knitting with it. It hurts my hands, all of those things. So I knew that I wanted to add a cotton in, but we wanted to make sure that we still had a lot of wool in it. Mills, it's kind of hard to get cotton, um, like large scale of cotton, and we wanted to do something local. This is from Green Mountain Spinnery. There are 20% cotton, 80% Targhee and Rambouillet. That Rambouillet is from farms around the country, and it is 250 yards per 2 ounces. So that comes out to be about 500 yards per 110 grams. So a lighter weight, but this does fluff up a lot. So instead of treating it like a lace, because that is kind of getting into lace territory, between a lace and a fingering, they need to make up a new category between lace and fingering, I feel like. I treat it as a fingering weight. And if I'm going to sub anything in the cotton, I'm going to use Spinster's Daughter. And so this is sticky in just like the most perfect way. You don't get that cornstarchy feel at all, but you can feel like the lanolin and the cotton, and it's really, really lovely. Yeah. There we go. So beautiful. I just love this. This color is Love Me Like You Used to. Now, here's the thing with the cotton. When you're dyeing cotton and when you're dyeing protein, so a vegetable um, fiber versus a protein fiber, you need two different types of dye. And because this has more wool in it, we used our regular dyes. But it does have, which I think is beautiful, a little bit of flex. I am not totally sold on the real dark, rich colors on this because you get so many of those white flecks. To me, it looks outdated. And I don't know if that's a personal thing. I don't know if we need to go into a different tone than what we usually do. So right now, all of the cotton is on really light, more pastel palette. So you're not getting those big, stark white pieces out. You're just getting a tiny little bit of beautiful fleck. Um, that's just my opinion, man. And guess what? I'm the boss, so I get to say so. But I do want to try to manipulate it maybe a little bit. This is from Green Mountain Spinnery. What we have in stock is all we have. We should be getting another shipment in June. But if you're looking for a new yarn to try, I would give this a go. I think it's great for tanks and tees, and I think that it is great for it's great for anything. It's great for scarves, it's great for hats, it's great for cowls. You it's not just a cotton, people see cotton and they're like, "Oh, it's just not." You got to use it. And that okay, I know I'm like I have a lot to say. One thing that I think that I've been doing a lot lately, because I've been knitting a lot, I've been designing, I've been playing around with different fibers, is that there is something to be said for hand winding your yarn. If you've never used a base before, I really recommend it. Even the Foxy Lady, I hand wound it, and I just feel like it's this beautiful introduction to your yarn. It did take me a while to hand wind the Foxy Lady, and in the other room, I have a winder and a Swift. At work, I have an electric one, but I just wanted to see what the fiber felt like. I've used it a million times, but I was just more interested in kind of getting to know the yarn. And so I think that I'm really interested and I'm hoping to educate more on being really thoughtful with the yarns that you use and the projects that you use and how that fits in your closet and the styling, the entire process before and after knitting, I think is so important. Maybe that's going to be the theme of this episode because I want to talk about finishing and kind of taking care of your knits too. So, anyways, if hand wind this, it's just I hand wound every skein that I've used, and it's just so beautiful. And you really can get to know the fiber and how it's going to maybe, you know, if you're a tight knitter, if you're a loose knitter, how that's gonna, you know, how you're gonna know. I think that sometimes we go into knitting feeling so vulnerable and we don't really know exactly what we're doing. We don't know how to pick out a project. We don't know how to pick out the right yarn. We don't know how to do those things. So I think by kind of taking a step back and going back to the basics can be so helpful. And as you gain more knowledge, feeling more comfortable with doing that and knowing yourself, knowing how you like the clothes on you to fit and feel and all of those things, go all the way down to what the spin of the fiber is, what the content is, all of those things. So, okay, that's my spiel. Confluence Cotton. Tomorrow, today's Wednesday, tomorrow, maybe today for you, Brianna Arlene, who is a designer, she came on our Tulum retreat, is how I got to know her. And she has been making some really, really cool things. So tomorrow, I hope that's not messing with this. Maybe I could take this. Should I do an outfit change? I haven't actually tried this on. Let's just do it. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Okay, this is what we'll do. Hold on. Hold on. Need a little chug of coffee. What if it just fell in there? Ah, yikes. Okay, pull the pants up. Okay. Ooh, just so proud of myself for finishing something. And let's try this on, baby. Oh, it feels good. Ah, well, hey there, cowgirl. My gosh, this is so cute. Wow, I love this. I love the fit of it. Feels really good. I need some cowgirl boots with this. Just immediately, I knew. I love that. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can put this back on. Sorry if it's a little rumbly. Okay, I kind of laid it on there like that, and it seemed to be okay. Hopefully that's all right. This is so cute. So this is out of Confluence Cotton. The colors I just showed you. Love Me Like You Used To. Oh, I need to do a pattern or yardage guide for the newsletter. I just remembered that, you guys. I have to write that down because if I don't, I will forget. Yardage guide Mesa Dreams. That way, you guys can see exactly how many skeins you need. Confluence Cotton, Little Wapiti, Love Me Like You Used To. So Little Wapiti is this part right here. And then I love this color, Be Still Young Heart, and that is these little stripes in between. So fun little tee. Check out her other sweaters too. Really beautiful. She recently did one that I want to knit. I'm like slowly, I've only been knitting accessories all year and playing around with some designs and, like I said, textures and swatches, lots of swatches. I haven't done a full length sleeve sweater for a while. I put myself in timeout because I wasn't finishing anything. So, but she has one that's really cool that I want to do. Yeah, so Mesa Dreams. I think I'll just do a little outfit switch. I love this. Heck, is that all? Oh no. No, no. Okay, so last week we came out with a new design. This is called the Offerings Cowl. And there's two versions. This is version 1. It's a Mobius wrap, so you do a provisional cast on, and then you're going to knit all of this here, and then you're going to change your needles, and you're going to do this here. Then you're going to give it a little twisty, and then you're going to Kitchener it back together. So really lovely, fun, easy cowl. This version right here, these are Kipiapi flowers. I'll tell you guys the story and the inspiration behind this. The Kipiapi flowers are here, and then on this one here, we did all spin cycle. I love both of them. So this is all spin cycle. The Kipiapi flowers. Okay, don't look at that side because that's wrong. The Kipiapi flowers are in spin cycle as well as the little chevron. And we did chevron for those right there. This one I did not do a Mobius. I just did it plain. I wanted to just see what that looked like. And I love the textural difference of the Odang, and the Recollect and Reminisce is the other yarns that are in this. So Kipiapi is the little purple like prairie crocus that comes out. Let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. It's a little purple crocus that comes out. And I've been wanting, I love Kipiapi. My mom, every year when Kipiapi comes out, she calls me and tells me. So then that way I know that like spring is really coming. And it is a fuzzy little purple flower. And then the story that I grew up with about Kipiapi was that there was a little boy. My mom always said a little girl. And in the other stories that I could gather from, it was a little boy. So a little kid went out to the mountains and he was doing his vision. And so Blackfeet and other indigenous tribes, when you kind of become a certain age, you go out and you fast in the mountains and you're by yourself. And this is, you're waiting for a vision. You don't get any food or water, anything like that. And you're waiting for a vision for kind of to learn about what you're going to be in the next stage of your life. So this little boy went out to the mountains and he was sitting there. The only thing he had was a buffalo robe or a bison robe. And he was waiting for like days and days. And there was this little tiny flower next to him. And the flower was keeping him company and saying, you know, you're going to get your vision. Don't worry. Like, you're going to be able to make it. And at night it would get really cold. And the little boy would take his robe and put it around his, you know, the little flower to keep the little flower warm too. And finally the boy had his vision, and he was going to be a really powerful medicine man. And so when, after he had had his vision, he asked the little flower, what do you, thank you so much for helping me. What do you want? And he said, I want to be as purple as the mountains, and I want to be as soft as your bison robe. So that had been in my head, and I had started charting it out, years ago. I think like in 2020, I started charting it. And then I watched this episode of Reservation Dogs. And on Reservation Dogs, I think it's season 2 or 3, and Lily Gladstone is in the episode. And if you haven't watched Reservation Dogs, you have to watch it. It's the greatest show. The 3rd season is so funny. It's so amazing. It's the best. I watched the 1st season, and then I like to binge watch my shows, so I'll wait till the entire season is out and then I'll watch it. And I do this with magazines too, where like I'll get a magazine and I want to savor it so much that I won't ever read it. Like it's so weird and annoying, and I hate that I do that. And so I was kind of doing that with Reservation Dogs, and finally I was like, I gotta watch this. Like I can't try to savor it forever. It's so good. So in this episode, Lily Gladstone, I can't tell if she's one of I can't tell if she's um not Laura Dannon. Oh, what's the other? Willie Jack. I can't tell if she's Willie Jack's mom or auntie. I think it's her auntie. It's the boy who died, their friend. It's on the tip of my tongue. I think it's his mom. Anyways, she's in jail. And this episode, there's like all of these ancestors that they can see, nobody else can see. And it's really funny. And they're like, helping them along and talking to them and stuff like that. And Lily Gladstone's ancestor is like just really happy and positive, and she's like pretty miserable. But during it, she says this prayer with Willie Jack, and then like all of these ancestors come, and it was just so powerful to me, and I just felt it so much, and just like immediately was like, I need to go do that cowl. And so I like ran upstairs and finished the chart, or started working on the chart, and then just like cast on, and knew that like I did the auntie's cowl. I love this style of cowl for kind of like an artistic, like just a palette, for a creative palette. It's easy, it's fun, it doesn't take a ton of yarn, and you also get to like wrap it around yourself, which feels very good. So that is the story of the offerings cowl. That's what that episode was called. And the flowers, like I said, are called kepiapi. So that is that. We have kits, and I did this one. Well, I'm just going to start from the top because they're kind of crinkly. I'm going to show you guys the green colors too. Okay, so this is York. This is Recollect. So all of these kits come in 2 versions. The first version is this one here, and that is with the Kipiapi flowers in the Odang. And so it comes with 2 skeins of Odang, 1 skein of dyed in the wool, and 2 skeins of Recollect or Reminisce. This is version 2. It comes with 2 skeins of dyed in the wool, 1 skein of Odang, 2 skeins of Recollect or Reminisce. So basically, you're just either getting 1 skein of dyed in the wool, or 2 skeins of dyed in the wool, and 2 skeins of Odang, and 1 skein of whatever. You can read it on the website. All of the kits, you can get either version though. So what I'm showing you, you can choose the version that you want. Okay, this is York, Slow Burn, and Juniper. Beautiful. And then this here is a nice bright version. This is Clay Dreaming, Absolute Zero, and Winter Wolf. Very beautiful. Like, I'm obsessed with Old Man Coyote. So this is Evergreen, Bright Idea, and Old Man Coyote. I think this would be such a cool version. If you're into greens and yellows. This is Absolute Zero, one of my favorites, and I love it with the natural Recollect and York. Nice teal pop of color in there. This is Hippie Yappie Choice. This is Love Me Like You Used To, Shades of Earth, and WTF, Where's the Fry Bread? Ooh, I got to say, at the retreats in June and September, we're getting a food truck for one of the nights so that we do cows and cocktails. And it's called Oki Eats, and it is a Blackfeet and Korean fusion. So good. I think they're gonna be this weekend too at the somewhere downtown. Oh, they have this like delicious fried chicken and fry bread. Fry bread, Indian tacos is life. Okay, this one is Candy's Choice, and it is Sunny's, Every Rose, and Juniper. I love the Every Rose. These colors, these three colors have been like sitting on my desk forever. I just think they're so pretty. Definitely my style. But of course I needed to make some little purple Kippy Oppy. So that is the offerings cowl. There is a discount code for the kits, and it is offerings love. All one word. All capitalized if you want them to be. So that is that. Bop. Okay, a couple weeks ago we did the greens. I showed you It's Green Bitch. I wanted to show you two or three other ones. Just so you can get an idea on what they look like. Oh my gosh. And then, okay. So, Celadon Kush is a most beautiful. Ooh, we should do Celadon Kush on Confluence Cotton. Can I write that down too? I'm like, I'll remember. I will not. Celadon Kush Cotton. Oh my gosh, my freaking. Okay, new rule for me. You cannot eat and be on your computer at the same time, because I have messed up my freaking laptop, and it's a MacBook Pro. I've had it for quite a few years, but now okay, and then this is also what happened. It was a little crummy, and then I was sitting there and I literally had a glass of orange juice and just went like this. Boop. Like it was the weird, I just poured orange juice all over my laptop. And then my reaction, which I don't think was a bad reaction, but I was just like, this is fucked, basically. And if I don't get the orange juice off, it's gonna be awful. And so I ran it under water. I just took it to the sink and just ran water over it. It was fine. But then the stickiness got stickier and stickier and stickier, and it wouldn't end. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll just do operation, and I'm going to take all of the keys off of my computer and clean it all out. And I had it all set up. You can't get those damn keys off or on, which I just think is really annoying. I feel like you should be able to get the keys off of your computer. Like, that should be a law, that should be mandatory. Well, it's not. So now I'm typing, I'm like, my D is missing, my enter is missing, my space bar is flush. I have a new computer coming today, and then I'm going to send this one away, and it's going to get refurbished, and then I'm going to give it to the dye studio. So anyways, that's my computer drama of the week. I love this color. Okay, Celadon Kush, beautiful sage. Here we are on Mighty Mo. I think that Mighty Mo on Celadon Kush might be like an employee favorite. Everybody freaking loves it. Ooh, Sue copy. It's gorgeous. So pretty. Hishkin, light, creamy, airy, delicious. Just gonna plop those back in there. That's a different color. Ooh, squish bulky, gorge. Oh dang is gorgeous. More muted, more tonal. It does have definitely some tones in there. There we go. Ooh, Foxy Lady, light, very creamy, very light, very beautiful. Juicy Decay, yes, it's so good. It's light. I need something. Favorite though? Oh dang DK. It's so good on Oh dang DK. Love, love, love. Oh dang DK really became popular with the broom sweater. We had a lot of kits sold of the broom sweater, which was amazing and great. Such a fun knit. Such a great, easy, simple knit to try out a new fiber that might be a little intimidating. You know, this big ass fluffy yarn can be a little scary. So nice. So, oh dang DK, not going away. The other thing too, not sure where the other one is, Smoke Signals. And then this is Bear Paw Sock. And on, maybe we don't have it. Oh, no, here she is. Oh, this is actually everybody's favorite Smoke Signals on Bear Paw DK. Silky, smooth, a little bit greener, like kind of this little highlight of green. Gorge. Okay. Now I love this honeydew colorway. It's a really nice bright green, more yellow than Daddy State of Mind, which I feel like half, I'm going to say 50% of the love for Daddy State of Mind is the name. Bulky, beautiful. Craigie Tweed, we even did it on Craigie Tweed. More muted, more of a melon. My favorite though is on Hishkin. I'm not gonna be bringing this back to the shop. I'm going to be taking it because I'm going to knit Andrea's new traveler hat. She has a knit along. I don't know all the details, but that is that. And I'm gonna be making it. I feel like that hat in particular, and all hats, but for whatever reason, that hat is a great hat to knit a color that you might not necessarily be able to wear. I mean, you can wear any color you want, who cares? But like, does that look good on me? I can't really tell. No, not really. But on a hat, just like a fun, funky little, fun, funky little accessory. That's the word I'm looking for. Love you. Okay. Last thing. Well, yeah, last thing ish is I want to show you guys. I'm going to show you a couple things. Let me just hop in here and I'm going to put my computer away. Actually, I'm not, because I want to talk about what I'm reading and watching and the FDF book club. Don't let me forget to talk about the FDF book club. Coffee is life. I have an espresso maker at home, and I know this is called something, but I've been grinding up the beans, and I take some cinnamon and I pour some cinnamon on top of it, and then I make the espresso. I want to talk about aftercare, and we put up an aftercare blog maybe a month ago, a few weeks ago. So all of this information lives there, but I just wanted to show you guys a couple things, talk about a couple things in person, and I thought I could do a live demo of the steamer, which I'm obsessed with. Okay, what I'm knitting right now. So like I said, I went in my closet, I was picking out color for the Helix pullover. It's by Jessie May. It is this like really nice lacy um sweater, and it has kind of these big sleeves. It's really like 1970s. I'm gonna be in a field with some flowers smoking some dope. But I didn't want the sleeves, so I went in my closet when I was picking out colors. Of course, I picked out Mad Mardigan. Do you know how many colors in my closet I have of Mad Mardigan? And not only that, like that's fine. I can add Mad Mardigan anytime I want. But all of the clothes I had in my closet of that color were like fun, funky shirts. And so I was like, I don't need another fun, funky shirt that is that color. What I don't have that I'm kind of always looking for is a cream colored, fun, funky shirt. And so I decided to do Many Moons. Boring, yes. Beautiful, 100%. So this is my, is this going to fit? Here we are. Here we are with me not doing a swatch. I mean, listen, it is a very like I feel like when we're gonna block it, we're gonna be like, damn, okay, that's gonna fit. Um, and steam blocking is my new favorite thing. Why would I wet block? I mean, that's the truth. I don't feel like unless I really need something to grow, I may end up wet blocking this at the end. We'll kind of see. I did not wet block this. I steam blocked it. And I think what it is for me is it just is so quick, it's so fast, and it's so satisfying. Do you get a little steam burn here and there? Yes. That's okay. So, I just love it. I think this is gonna grow. I think it's gonna fit. I think it's gonna be fine. Should I gauge swatched? Yes. Am I too lazy? Yes. Don't listen to what I do. Listen to what I do. Listen to what I say, not what I do. Um, I love the construction of this. I think that a lot of Jessie's patterns are like this. So you start on the back with some, oh, do you see my mistakes? That's good. That's normal. That means I'm a human. Um, you start with the back and you do some short rows, and then you knit your little back piece, and then you go to your left shoulder and you pick up the stitches along there. I mean, okay, it doesn't really look like it because it hasn't been blocked in oh my little, but my pickup game is strong. Um it's just beautiful and seamless. So then you pick up the front and then you knit this part right here, and then you pick up the right and then you knit this part right here, and then you add some stitches and you do that, and then you knit and then you join them together, and it's just like this seamless, beautiful, super fun pattern. And one of those patterns where you have to be like, just trust the process, just trust the process, just keep going until you can understand it. Now, with all of Jessie's stuff, I'll know what the heck is going on, and I'm very excited about. I did mess up a few times here, but again, it's good to know that I'm human and not an alien AI. Do you think aliens make mistakes on their knitting? The first question I'm going to ask. Do you know how to knit, and do you ever make mistakes? Um, okay, I turned my steamer on. So, aftercare of knits, everything's on the blog. I'm not going to give you guys the whole spiel, but I just think like talking about like the beginning of before you pick out a project and all of those little things, making sure that at the end you're caring for your knits the way that they're supposed to be cared for, and that it can actually be really fun and an enjoyable process. It doesn't have to be like, oh my god, I gotta, you know, wash this, or I gotta block this, or whatever it is. So the first thing, this guy's a little loud. the first thing I'm gonna do is spray it with our Wool Wash spray. And I'm just gonna give it a little spritz. This helps keep any bugs away, any unwanted critters. It also helps even out the stitches with the type of soap that we use in there. And now the steaming comes. Ooh, will this reach? Yes. Okay, so when you're steaming, let me get it. Oh shit! This is where an editor would be nice. All right, you get out of the way. Here we go. Steamer engaged. Okay, so you can do like a little like swoopy like this. I usually like to do this just to get it like a little moist. I'm sorry if you are one of those people who hate that word. It doesn't bother me, so I'm gonna use it. Okay, so we're gonna get this a little moist, just kind of loosen up those fibers, all of that. Then I actually like to lay it down flat to do the rest of my steaming. Now, internally, I'm starting just to panic a little bit because I am worried about my gauge. Then I like to do this. You guys can't see this, but I am, oh, maybe you can kind of see right there. I'm just rubbing it all along. Oh no. Oh, she's looking good. Okay. We have saved the day. And you could, I'm going to set that right there. You could, like, ideally, what I maybe should have done is put this on longer needles or just attached another needle on there. That way it could have opened up fully, but for what we're doing, I mean, this is a mid fit steam. We're not done here. And I'm gonna get the edges, and then you can really like open it up, lay it out. I'm gonna get those little shoulder seams. I'm gonna get all those little mistakes that I made. Okay. All right, Steam Boy, turn off. So then now you can see the difference of how much that opened up. I'm gonna try this on to see. I mean, here's the truth though too. I'm less than an inch of after my underarm, so it's really hard just to like hold it up and tell. I think I'll go ahead and check my gauge. I am my own worst nightmare. I'm just gonna say that right now. As a customer, I hate myself. At least I'm kind though. Yeah. Sorry, just seeing what's going on there. Will she fit? It's just hard to say. I mean, it's supposed to be open. I just don't want it. I don't want it so tight. I'm using Spinster's Daughter, and like I said, Many Moons. So next time, you guys, I'll either say it didn't fit, I took it out, and I decided not to start it over again, or I'll be wearing it. Because tanks and tees like this, so quick, so fast. It's amazing. Yeah, so that's what I'm knitting. And I love the steamer for a quick gauge on what's going on. This is what's important though. If you knit a swatch and I don't think that there's really any reason, unless you have something super lacy, unless you have something that's like really curling up on itself, unless you have something really big that's hard to steam, I don't think there's any reason why you can't steam it. You could do like a little swatch and steam it, do your gauge, do a swatch and wet block it and do your gauge. If you're playing around with gauge, if you're playing around with the way it's going to look at the end, that is an option. But when you do your swatch, whatever way you're going to finish your garment, if you're going to wet block your garment at the end, wet block your swatch. If you're going to steam block your swatch, plan on steam blocking your garment, right? For hats too, right? Like it's nice sometimes for a hat to have a little bit of like open it up. But then sometimes when you wet block it, it grows too much. So just a little steam block goes a long way. And I do like the wool wash spray for the steam blocking, like I demonstrated. And then we also just have our regular old wool wash. I've been making this in my home since 2010, probably over 10 years, almost 15 years. That's weird. A couple capfuls, soak, do your blocking. Other aftercare things that I love, if you're doing wet blocking, and Coco Knits is the queen of aftercare. Every Coco Knits thing that they make is just amazing. So easy, life lasting things that you don't have to keep on getting more of. Except for their stitch markers. Like, how do I lose? I mean, any stitch marker. Where do they go? This is the absorbent towel, and when I'm blocking something, if it's coming out of the sink, say this was it, I'm going to just kind of press like this, try to get as much water out. You never want to wring it. You never want to do too much to it. I just do like a little thing like this, and then I open this thing up like it's a little newborn baby, and I just go like this, pull it straight out, and then I wrap it all up, and this super absorbent towel is going to get so much water out. Time is everything, I feel like, in the world right now. Maybe it's because I'm going to turn 40 this year. Maybe it is because the internet is making time feel faster. I'm not really sure what it is. But by being able to dry things more quickly, I personally feel so much satisfaction in that. So this would be all scrunched up. I would actually put it down on the floor and I would step on it to get as much water out. I would take it out and maybe find a dry part of. I mean, this towel is freaking huge. You could wrap a man in it. You could do half of this, and then take the other half and do another little round like that. And seems like fairly like, do I really need an absorbent towel? Yes, you do. And it comes in a cute little thing like this. And then the Coco Knits blockers. I've talked about this before on the podcast. These things are awesome. They have this really nice like fuzzy bit on here. And so things dry so much faster. If you do not have blockers, if you are saving up for them, if it's not something you're going to spend money on, I suggest actually blocking your things on a garbage bag. Use plastic because the water evaporates faster. But these guys, love them. My favorite. Coco Knits also makes this sweater care pop-up dryer. I have used this a little bit. I use it more. I don't use it for sweaters. I am particular about my sleeves when I'm blocking. I like to make sure they're like the perfect length and going the right way and the whole thing. So I am more particular about sleeves. And so I don't use it for sweaters. And this thing just pops up like a little tent. It goes like this. I use this for accessories. I will dry hats, gloves, scarves, towels, all those things on this when I'm doing a good wet block. But like I said, I'm a steam blocker. Oh, the other thing, this is the Coco Knits brush. I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to be honest. What are we using this for? This is the only thing I have found that like it is to zhuzh up your mohair and your odang. haven't ever found I needed to zhuzh up my mohair, and oh dang. I will use this brush. It's like this bristle brush. If I am depilling something, I will use this to help get the things even more ready to get off. This thing though, this depiller is the bomb. Um, it has these really great reusable uh, razors in it, so you can kind of keep using it. Coco Knits did come out and say that in some of these they were breaking. And so just you can't be like, I mean, this is the shop one, so it's well loved. Um, like you can't hold it by here and you just want to hold it like this basically, and you don't need to be too aggressive. You can be pretty light with it, and then when you are shaving you just are doing this all the way down, and you just go all the way down the sweater. And if you have a really pilly sweater, this thing will get it completely shaved off. If you go into the shop and you look at our samples, you will not find a pill in the house because Sarah is obsessed with depilling the things. It's very satisfying to use this. So, yeah, that is kind of our aftercare. Like I said, everything's on the blog. You can kind of go in and read about why we feel like it's so important to enjoy aftercare and that it's a part of the knitting process. So, oh my gosh, it was so fun to be here and to chat with you guys. I just really enjoyed it. For the giveaway, let's do an offerings kit of your choice. So we'll let you guys choose that. We will draw a winner maybe sometime next week, in the next couple weeks. And it was great to be here. Oh, one thing, I had all these books that I wanted to share that I've been reading, but we're way over time, so we'll forget that. But Farmer's Daughter Fibers has a Discord group now. I will put the link for the invitation below. I will be putting show notes on Discord. There will be a thread for the podcast, so you guys can ask questions there. You can ask them in the comments on YouTube. If you guys have questions or topics or anything that you want to hear, please let me know. I would love to get your ideas of what you guys are interested in. And also on that Discord group, we've started a book club, the FDF book club. And so you can go in and vote what you want our summer read to be, what genre. And then once we choose a genre next week, we'll put a vote up on what books that, we'll have like probably 3 to 5 books if people are interested in reading. So yeah, join us. It's fun over there. Little bit of pushback on the Ravelry group. People being like, I don't want to join another platform, social media platform. Fair. I don't feel like it's social. I mean, to me, social media is like Facebook, Instagram, um, Twitter, whatever it's called. Those type of things feel like more social media than Discord. It's just a community space. And so I understand if it's not one thing that you want to join, but if you're looking to connect with the Farmer's Daughter Fibers community, it's a really great place. People are sharing their whips, they're sharing their finished objects. We have a lot of different topics that we talk about: TV, books, all of those things. So, okay, my friends, I'm out of here. Thank you so much. It was so great to be back, and I will be back in a few weeks. So, peace out, homies.